Mamaya po. Magsa-start na. After the commercials. Ang mga pananaw at opinyon ng pag-uulat sa programang ito ay hindi ang pangunahing posisyon o pahayag ng pamumunuan ng organisasyong ito. The views and opinions expressed in this live report are those of the presenter and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the management of this organization. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Inclusive Report. Today is Thursday, the 3rd of February, 2022. I am Carlos Miguel Kanahashi, your host for this day. And for our technical, it is Sir Mark Betita for our technical controls. For our opening, Sir Mark. Your mic, please. Thank you.
Good evening po sa ating lahat. Sana po nasa mabuting kalagayan tayong lahat. Pasaway para hindi na po dumadagdag sa mga maraming nagkakasakit. At lagi po kayo mag-iingat and lagi po magdarasal. Yun po, marami po salamat.
Thank you very much, Sir Mark. Okay, so we will begin our presentation in just our commercials. Now this. Mamaya pa, after the commercials.
Okay pa.
Matapang pa rin tayo. Ang tropa, hindi nang iiwan. Ang senyas, isang instrumento. Ilang beses matumba, tayo huling baba. Numan, tayo ay muling luluwa. Para sa pangarap, para sa pamilya, at tayo ang ida. Tuloy ang inclusion.
Okay, welcome back to the Inclusive Report episode for this day. So before we get to this, Sir Mark, can you activate our share screen, please? And our PowerPoint slides, please. Thank you. for this day, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss to you about the National Autism Consciousness Week. Okay, next slide, please. So what is the National Autism Consciousness Week? So according to Proclamation number 1996, we at HNI Inclusion Philippines joined the nation in the celebration of the National Autism Consciousness Week, held every third week of January every year. So, the purpose of this event is that everyone is encouraged of persons with autism and to promote a supportive environment to enable them to live with dignity and to function independently and contribute productively in our society. So the National Autism Consciousness Week is part of for inclusion of persons with autism in our country as well. So the agency that helps promote the the National Autism Consciousness Week is so ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this event is to promote action by all sectors, including the PWD sectors, towards enabling persons on the autism spectrum disorder to live with dignity and access to function independently and to contribute productively. So a couple of weeks ago, the theme last week is about nurturing public-private alliances towards an autism-okay Philippines. It intends to nurture partnerships with others to help Filipinos on the autism spectrum and those who care for them rise above the challenges of the condition and the current economic and health situation, to grow a community of allies within the country, the region, the rest of the world, towards genuine inclusion, and to cultivate individual self-awareness, self-expression, and feeling of belonging to a compassionate society. So this year we had a theme. The theme is sunflower. The sunflower that lives by facing the light is a fitting representation of hope amid life's challenges. So the hidden disability sunflower is a symbol for hidden or non-apparent disabilities such as autism. People living with hidden disabilities face barriers in their and negative attitudes. So some choose to wear the hidden disability sunflower to discreetly identify that they may need support, help, or just a little more time in public spaces. Next slide, please. So based on this law, Proclamation number 711, series of 1996, signed by former President Fidel Valdez Ramos. It declares the third week of January as the National Autism Consciousness Week. So, there's a growing incidence of autism among more people from all the different sectors to become aware of this disability. It is the aim of the national government to develop awareness of the problems of persons with autism and to promote a supportive environment among communities to enable persons with autism to live and to enable them to function independently in society. Whereas the growing number of persons with autism has spawned the need for early diagnosis, therapy, and education intervention to help them and their families manage the lifelong disability. The national government recognized and assistance to the plight of persons with autism and mobilized the various agencies and departments, especially DOH, DepEd, DWD, to look into how they can meaningfully support services, therapy, and education. In a meeting convened by the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific in Beijing from December 1 to 5, 1992, an Asian and Pacific Decade was launched. Next slide, please. Sir Mark. President of the Philippines, by virtue of the powers vested in me in the law, do hereby declare the third week of January as the National Autism Consciousness Week. For this purpose, the Department of Health, DepEd, DILG, and the DSWD jointly celebration of this event. These agencies will take the lead in initiating activities that will increase the awareness on autism and its effects, as well as its early identification. To ensure immediate intervention, the participation and the cooperation of all PWD organizations in the private sector will be secured. So, what is the essence of this event, ladies and gentlemen? Autism is a lifelong developmental exceptionality which might challenge an individual's ability to communicate, socialize, and adapt to the world around him. 1 in every 100 Filipinos are on the autism spectrum, translating to approximately 1.2 million Filipinos living with autism today. Next slide, please. So, what is this event all about, ladies and gentlemen? Autism is a neurological condition that affects millions of Filipinos. You have very likely met in all places, churches, educational institutions, in the workplace, in malls, at the movies, or in hospitals or clinics. They're not any different from you. Individuals with autism have a unique way of processing things that they can see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. Order. Governments legally recognize it as a disability. Families who live with autism have daily struggles not everyone can understand. On the occasion of the National Autism Consciousness Week, we celebrate the great things that our government has done for individuals with autism and their families, such as the Magna Carta for Persons with Disabilities, the Equal Opportunity Employment Act, the Anti-Bullying Act, and some LGU's unique services for children and exceptionalities. The national government, the public sector, and the private sectors, and other PWD organizations like Autism Society Philippines and other PWD organizations throughout the country will ensure sustained inclusive development in the future. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, this week is because we need to show awareness on promoting persons with autism in our country. So next slide, please. So, what are the 4 A's to autism, ladies and gentlemen? As a review, A's to autism are awareness, acceptance, accommodation, and appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. So why do we need these 4 A's? That's why we need to show awareness, or appreciation, and accommodation. That's why So Sir Mark, tanong, bakit kailangan mahalaga ito? 4 na A's to autism. Your mic, please.
Kasi po para po sila sa lipunan. Para po, alam po, para hindi po sila nahihirapan na makibagay po sa atin. At ganoon din po tayo sa kanila. Kailangan po tanggapin po natin sila bilang parte po ng lipunan.
Yes. Yes. So according to Dr. Lirio Covey, the founder of Adults with Autism Philippines, we echoed the 4 A's to societal response to autism: acceptance, awareness, adaptation, and accommodation. Next slide, please. So, what is autism? So, the definition of autism is this. Autism spectrum disorder is a complex neurological or ladies and gentlemen. What is autism spectrum disorder? Based on the definition, ladies and gentlemen, it states there, autism spectrum disorder is a complex neurobehavioral condition that includes problems in social interaction, language barriers, and communication skills combined with rigid and recurring behaviors. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, autism is a complex lifelong developmental disability that early childhood and can impact a person's social skills, communication, relationships, and self-regulation. It is defined by a certain set of behaviors and is a spectrum condition that affects people differently and to varying degrees. Autism is a lifelong development which may challenge an individual's ability to communicate, socialize, and to adapt to the world around him. While there is no single cause or known single cause of autism, rather, early diagnosis helps a person receive the support and services that they need, which can lead to a quality life. Next slide, please. So, what autism awareness means? For me, as my journey to self-advocacy begins, for me, autism awareness and autism acceptance come from two very different mindsets. Awareness, acceptance, and appreciation demand concerted work. We need to make a shift from awareness to acceptance, appreciation, inclusion, and empowerment. So, Sir Mark, I have a question to you. Why do we need to show accommodation and appreciation for persons with autism in our country? Next, Sir Mark.
Para po maramdaman po nila na kabilang po sila sa lipunan. Para po hindi yun po.
That's absolutely right. That's why, as a self-advocate, that means that persons with autism show that we have to follow the 4 A's or the 4 approaches or A's to autism: awareness, acceptance, accommodation, and appreciation. Next slide, please. Children and young people with autism in the careers should have input into how they would like to be supported. And the young person and their carers is important to ensure they are given choice and control. This ensures that everyone is involved in the process of change, with the aim of building capacity to empower and to instill confidence to allow for growth and development. That every child has his or her own strengths and weaknesses, unique set of skills or ability profile. Through working with many children and young people, we have found that they often share many strengths and often encounter a range of challenges. Next slide, please. So based on this slide, ladies and gentlemen, as parents and professional living or working with a child or young person with autism, learning to be a good observer is essential in getting to know the child of the strengths and challenges of a young person. The purpose of this is to allow better or young person brings to the learning environment. So in celebration of the National Autism Consciousness Week, what are the ways and how can we show appreciation, include persons with autism? Here it is. In order to appreciate in celebration of the National Autism Consciousness Week, first, we have to celebrate two events that relates to advocating persons with autism. In the Philippines, we have first the National Autism Consciousness Week, January, and also every April, which is the World Autism Awareness Day. So, to celebrate this event is because first we need to show that we follow the to echo the 4 A's to promote autism inclusion, like awareness, acceptance, appreciation. And as a way of how can we appreciate persons with autism in the PWD sectors in our country, we need ways on how can we show that we appreciate persons with autism. First, we should avoid these things. Yung mga salita ng mga R word na kung saan nakakasakit at nakakasama sa ibang tao. And also, and other things. Respect and love. And also, to repent for what you have done. Support their talents in any aspect. The 4 A's to persons with autism, and also to campaign for inclusion, awareness, acceptance, and accommodation. And also, to be kind as well. Ito ay ginawa hindi lamang sa atin, kundi sa ating lahat. Okay, next slide please. So, to summarize our topic, autism spectrum disorder is a condition that is related to the development perceives and socializes with others, causing problems in social interaction and communication. This disorder includes limited and repetitive patterns of behavior, the wide range of symptoms and severity. Autism Consciousness Week, or the National Autism Consciousness Week, is celebrated every third week of January by virtue of Proclamation Number 711 signed on January 4, by former President Fidel. Spectrum disorder is a lifelong neurological disorder typically appearing in late infancy or early childhood. It is a developmental disability characterized by social and communication deficits that impede optimal functioning. According to the Autism Society Philippines, at least 1.2 million Filipinos have been diagnosed with autism. Okay, so and the other segments and as part of our show for this day, we need to show that we appreciate persons with autism on the celebration of the National Autism Consciousness Week. Sir Mark, question. What in celebration this week? How can we appreciate persons with autism? Your mic, please.
To love them, to support them, and to care for them. Especially, don't bully them.
How about yung mga salita gaya ng R word? Ito ay kung saan na nakakasakit at nakakasama sa ibang tao. Tama.
Natin ihinto yung mga ganong bagay para po hindi po natin sila nasasaktan.
That's absolutely right. That's why we need to show ways on how can we appreciate persons with autism as we celebrate every two events, the National Autism Consciousness Week and the World Autism Awareness Month. Coming up next, Sino Ka and our announcements. We'll be back after a short commercial. Now this.
Para sa aking pamilya, para sa aking kapwa, para sa bayan. Kahit mahirap, kahit masakit, mahal ko kayong lahat. Kahit anong mangyari, ako, tayo. Ating isisigaw sa mundo. Inklusibong may tatag, angat buhay itatahak.
Okay, welcome back to our Inclusive Report episode for this day. So our next part of our show is Sino Ka? Know your candidate elections. Next slide, please. Our featured senatorial candidate for our episode for this day is this. Who is this? This is Carmen Reyes Zubiaga. She is running for senator for and also she's also a self-advocate for persons with disabilities in our country, and she led this organization called Angat Persons with Disabilities United, which is an organization as well. Next slide, please. What are the achievements of a lifetime? Yung kay Ma'am Carmen. So here, for her education, she studied from in high school to first year college at the Immaculate Conception Parish High School. She studied mass communication at the Trinity University. She completed her master's degree in the Asian Institute of Management. She received her certificate in leadership, management, and governance at Yale University in the US. For her professional achievements, from 1983 to 1987, she a comic script writer or featured writer in Atlas Publications, Manila Times, and Mod Magazine. From 1987 to 1996, she is the Public Relations and Fundraising Officer of Taan ng Walang Hanggan. From 1996 to 1999, she is the Technical Advisor to the Ministry of Social Affairs, International UN Volunteer, and Executive Director of the National Center of Disabled Persons in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. She's the founder and president of the Women with Disabilities Leap to Social and Economic Progress from 2000 to 2004. From 2004 to 2012, she was the Public Information Officer at Rizal. She is the former Executive Director of the National Council on Disability Affairs from 2012 until she stepped down in 2019. She was later replaced by Sir Mark, tama ba to? Yung current NCDA Executive Director ngayon ay si Engineer Emerito Emer Rojas. Tama ba yan? Yes. She was replaced by Engineer Emerito Emer Rojas as the Executive Director of the National Council on Disability Affairs. She provided consultancy services to international NGOs and local NGOs. And she led Angat Persons with Disabilities United and Angat May Kapansanan. Tama ba yan? Yes. Yun. Next slide, please. So what are her achievements? So from 1987 to 1996, she raised funds for Tahanang Walang Hanggan and also to contribute to the development of policies on persons with disability through active participation in national and regional consultations. She went to Cambodia to enable persons in Phnom Penh as a national research center. She trained local people there and placed the products of Cambodians with disabilities in international markets. From 2004 to 2012, she was the first system in Rizal. She organized the local council of women in Taytay, Rizal. She co-founded the Alyansa ng May Kapansanang Pinoy and led in the fund sourcing for the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities So we're back. So after this, from 2012 to 2019, noong 2012 to 2019, she lobbied the passage of laws related to persons with disability in our country. She, such as Republic Act 10754, Republic Act 10366, and RA 10524. She...
Wait lang po, Sir Carlos. Kapag-action lang po ako.
Sige. She became the executive director of the National Council on Disability Affairs. She lobbied for the inclusion of disability concerns, the development of the results-based monitoring tool on disability. She introduced the distribution of talking laptops to senior high school and college students with visual disabilities. She popularized disability awareness and sensitivity training to all the sectors. She led an interagency committee in conducting the first summit on disability, inclusive disaster risk reduction management, to draft the creation of TIDAO, and to manage the first capacity building project for organizations of persons with disabilities with funds from the SWD. From 2012 to 2013. And we will summarize this again. So, si Ma'am Carmen, next slide please, Sir Mark.
Okay pa, booster.
Wala ako eh. So, ulitin natin. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, apologies apologies right now because we're having some technical difficulties during our show. Okay, so let's repeat our sino ka. Okay. For sino ka, our candidate for the day in our episode, we will summarize this again. Her name is Miss Carmen Reyes Zubiaga. She is running for senator for the 2022 national elections. So what are her achievements in her studies? She studied in the following schools. She studied in high school to college at Immaculate Conception Parish High School. She completed her studies in mass communication at the Trinity University of Asia. She completed her master's in the Asian Institute of Management, and she received her certification in leadership, management, and governance in Yale University in 2016. Her professional achievements are: she was the comic script writer and feature writer in Atlas Publications, and fundraising officer of Tahanang Walang Hagdan. She was a technical advisor and international youth volunteer in Cambodia. She was the founder and president of Women with Disabilities Lead to Social and Economic Progress from 2000 to 2004. She was in Cambodia from 1996 to 1999. And then after that, she founded this group called Women with Disabilities Lead to Social and Economic Progress. She was a public information officer and social welfare officer in Taytay Rizal from 2004 to 2012. She became the presidential appointee as the executive director of the National Council on Disability Affairs from 2012 until 2019. And she stepped down as the executive director of the National Council on Disability Affairs and was later replaced by engineer Emerito Emer Rojas. She provided consultancy services to international NGOs, and she founded Angat Persons with Disabilities United, another PWD organization that promotes inclusion, and also Angat Mi Kapansanan as well. When her achievements are, she used to raise funds for Tahanang Walang Hagdan from 1987 to 1996. She operationalized the National Center of Disabled Persons in Cambodia when she went there from 1996 to 1999. She organized the Local Government Council of Women in Taytay Rizal from 2004 to, at the time, she was the first person to set up the PWD ID system in Rizal. She monitored the accessibility feature of the new municipal building in 2008. She was the founder of Alyansa ng May Kapansanang Pinoy and led in the fund sourcing for the parallel reporting and conduct of regional consultation of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. During her time as the executive director of the National Council on Disability Affairs, she lobbied for the passage of laws such as Republic Act 10754, Republic Act 10366, and Republic Act 10524. She led in the planning for the Disability Research and Development Center. She was lobbied for the inclusion of disability concerns in all important chapters from 2017 to 2022. She led the development of results-based monitoring tool on disability. She introduced talking laptops to senior high school and college students with visual disabilities. She popularized disability awareness and sensitivity training for all sectors. She led an interagency committee in conducting the Summit on Disability-Inclusive Disaster Risk Reduction and Management. She drafted the implementing rules and regulations of the creation of PDAO, and she managed the first capacity building project for organizations of persons with disabilities from 2012 to 2013 using the funds from the SWD. So, Ma'am Carmen Subiaga is number 63 in the ballot, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we're done with our Sino Ka part of our show. Sir Mark, can you flash the PowerPoint, please, for our announcements? Sir Mark, can you please show the PowerPoint for the announcements, please? Can you show it on Google Slides, please? Thank you. Open Google Slides, please. Thank you.
Wait.
Okay. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are some of our announcements. Okay. So, first of all, we have some products for sale at our Hands in Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel, Hands in Inclusion Philippines online shop, rather. So, the products that we are selling are our t-shirts and our tote bags, plus our bonus. our One Inclusion Nation t-shirt Talano Gold color. For our One Inclusion Nation t-shirts, it's available in red, black, blue, white, and yellow. All sizes were 275 pesos. For our One Inclusion Nation tote bags, it's available in white and black. Sizes are ranged between medium to large, and prices are ranged between 150 to 200 pesos. For the Talano Gold color, prices are ranged between 325 to 350 pesos, and sizes are ranged from small to XL. So if you want to order our t-shirts and our tote bags, we'll be very strict on payments. Payment first before purchase. I repeat, payment first before purchase. We're accepting payments from GCash, and we will deliver your ordered products via GoGo Express and LBC as well. Next slide, please. So, Hands in Inclusion Philippines online shop, ladies and gentlemen, is temporarily closed for areas under Alert Level 1, Alert Level 5 only. We will only close operations for Alert Level 5 areas, but it will continue to serve in areas under Alert Level 1 to 4 only. And our operating hours are from 12 midnight to 11:59 in the evening. So if you want to check our orders, please check the Hands Inclusion Philippines Facebook page or email us at hansin.inclusion@gmail.com. Next slide, please. So we at Hands Inclusion Philippines needs your help. We have already been struggling with our financial problems in our organization. So regardless, no matter what, it doesn't really matter if the amount is smaller or larger. It will be appreciated for you guys to help Hands in Inclusion Philippines as early as now. Any amount can do. Ladies and gentlemen, how can you do this? Scan and donate using GCash on this QR code that is flashed on your screen. You will also see this at one of our posts in our social media pages of Hands in Inclusion Philippines as well. If you want to do this, you can do this as early as now, ladies and gentlemen. So ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Please, please, and please lang. Please lang. Please continue to support Hands in Inclusion Philippines by donating us through GCash and this QR code and our purchases in the online shop. Please help Hands in Inclusion Philippines as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're aiming to raise funds in our organization, and we will use this in order for us to have a bigger, better, and a bolder Hands in Inclusion Philippines. So, please lang. So if you have time to donate to Hands in Inclusion Philippines, you can also do it as early as now. You also purchase our products in our online shop as well. So the proceeds from the sales and purchases on the online shop and for your donations will go to us here in Hands in Inclusion, especially for the formality, for its expenses, as well as for the financial aid of our members due to the effects of this trying time. So, for those who did this, you be glad you did. And for those who did this, thank you very much for your continuous generosity and for your support to our organization. Next slide, please. So, okay, so we have some events for the month of February in Best Buddies Philippines. So on February 5, Saturday at 4 p.m., it will be the Chinese New Year celebration with the Best Buddies Philippines British School Manila chapter. On February 12 at 4 p.m., it will be Valentine's Day with Best Buddies Philippines Citizens chapter. On February 12 at 4 p.m., with Teacher Raymark Badillo and Teacher of Vanguard Academy. And 2 teachers from Vanguard Academy on February 12, namely Raymark or Teacher Raymark Badillo and Teacher Jeline as well from Vanguard Academy as well. We will also have Wellness Wednesday with Coach Pepper on February 16 at 3 p.m. We'll be having rock painting on February 19 at 4 p.m. and February 26 at 4 p.m. Ice Cream Social. So if you want to join these events, please follow Best Buddies Philippines on Facebook and Instagram. Send them a message and they will send you the registration form and the link as well. So for those who want to register, there is a requirement that you have to share the Best Buddies Philippines Saturday series when you register, and they will send you the Zoom link as well. So guys, if you want to join, please follow Best Buddies Philippines, send them a message on Facebook and Instagram, and the registration form will be sent to you. And will also be broadcast on the Best Buddies Philippines Facebook page as well. In Best Buddies Philippines, make a friend, be a friend. Next slide, please. We continue to support everyone for Project Sold Out. Next slide, please. For Project Sold Out, please check the Hiraya Gallery and Special Achievers Facebook page. So for those who supported this, thank you very much as well on behalf of HNI Inclusion Philippines and our partners as well. Next slide, please. So, if you are feeling hungry, then you may want to order some of the foods from the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant and the Kuya Korea Restaurant. For the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant, our menus are for all-day breakfast, Tapa Sobra, Chicken Tocino, Homemade Spam, Corned Beef Brisket, and Beef Salpicao. Prices are ranged between solo to large and sizes are ranged between solo to large and prices are ranged between 265 pesos to 1,450 pesos. Next slide, please. For our rice trays, we have beef bulgogi, beef shawarma, beef gyudon, pork crackling bits, pork belly burnt ends, charred chicken, and boneless fried chicken. Sizes are ranged between solo to large and prices are ranged between 265 pesos to 1,700 pesos. Next slide, please. For our sandwiches, we have the fried chicken sandwich, pulled pork sandwich, corned beef sandwich, and chicken tocino sandwich. Sizes are ranged between regular, large, solo, and box of fours, and prices are ranged between 320 pesos to 1,540 pesos. Next slide, please. For our pasta, we have mac and cheese and penne and gorgonzola. Sizes are ranged between solo to large and prices are ranged between 290 pesos to 1,350 pesos. Next slide, please. So how can you order in the Sobra Comfort Food Restaurant? First, head over to the Sobra Comfort Food website. Select the dishes you want to order. Choose between pick up or delivery. Pay conveniently through any of the same integrated payment methods and your order is confirmed. Expect updates via text or your email. Next slide, please. So if you're feeling hungry again, then you may want to order some of the foods from the Kuya Korea Restaurant. Next slide, please. For the Kuya Korea Restaurant menu, Sir Mark. So for the Kuya Korea Restaurant, our menus are for the rice bowls, beef bibimbap, beef bulgogi, pork samgyup, and K-pop chicken. So prices are ranged between 195 to 220 pesos. For our chicken, for our boneless popcorn chicken, prices are ranged between half to whole, and prices are ranged between 235 to 435 pesos with the flavors of gochu, ganjang, chicken, and K-buffalo. If you want to order there, please check the Kuya Korea website for your orders as well. Next slide, please. Lastly, in our announcements, please follow HNI Inclusion Philippines on its social media pages and its digital platforms as well. It would be appreciated for you guys to do this as early as now. Follow us on Facebook, Hands and Inclusion PH, InkluRadyo, InkluSports, InkluNihan, and the online shop. Instagram, Hands and Inclusion PH, Kumu, HNI Philippines, and subscribe to our official YouTube channel, Hands and Inclusion Philippines. So guys, for those who did this, thank you very much as well. Next slide, please. That's not time for our greetings. To Lady Jane Florese, good evening to you and thank you for watching. To those who are celebrating their birthdays today, happy birthday and expect the more birthdays to come. To those who are celebrating their anniversaries, happy anniversary as well. And also, I would like to say good evening to my family, to Hands in Inclusion Philippines, Best Buddies Philippines, Best Buddies Benilde, and other PWD organizations. Thank you very much as well. To my high school and college friends, good evening as well. And to those who are watching, it may be a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you guys are in a good mood. But if not, you may use this time to improve on your mental health and your well-being as well. To those who are watching us on InkluRadyo, thank you very much as well. And if you missed this episode, it will be premiered the next day on the Hands and Inclusion Philippines YouTube channel. And also, if you have any consumer or your next week, thanks, Mark. Okay. Okay, guys. So before we end our show for this day, in celebration of the National Autism Consciousness Week, let us have the time to recite our isang pangako pledge. So to all of you guys watching, let us all recite this pledge right now. So Sir Mark and I will now recite. Okay? Please raise your right hand and please repeat after me. Ito ang isang pangako pledge. Ako ay nangangakong kikilos para mahinto ang maling paggamit ng autismo bilang kutya o katatawanan sa salita at sa gawa. Isusulong ko ang tunay na pagtanggap, pagkalinga, at pagbibigay halaga sa mga taong may kapansanan sa tulong ng may kapal. I made a promise to act to stop the use of autism as a joke or insult the use of autism as a joke or insult in word and in deed. I will work to advance the genuine acceptance,
I will work in advancing genuine acceptance,
accommodation,
the accommodation,
and appreciation of Filipinos with disabilities.
with the appreciation of Filipino with disabilities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So guys, we're running out of time. We'd like to thank you everyone for watching our The Inclusive Report episode for this day, the Thursday, the 3rd of February, 2022. I will be back again this coming Saturday and Sunday for the One Inclusion Live Weekend. Magpayo tayo kay Inclusion and our special report. On behalf of InkluRadyo and HNI Inclusion Philippines, I am Carlos Miguel Kanahashi, and together with me is Sir Mark Betita. May awa ang Diyos, makakaraos po tayo. Sama-sama tayong lalaban para sa pangarap, pamilya at bayan hanggang sa ating tatak para sa One Inclusion Nation. Magandang gabi at pagpalain nawa tayo ng Diyos ng buong may kapal. May the mighty God bless us all. Pilipinas, God first. HNI, God first. Thank you very much for watching. Have a pleasant evening to all. Good night and bye for now. Bye-bye.
Hello po. Pwede na po i-stop to?
Yes.
Okay po.
Patapos na. Katuloy.
So, kailan po niyan, sir, yung next natin po?
And